There. Damn. What's up, guys? I gotta go on and only to see the chat.
I'll do that again. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the We Love the Art celebration live stream. We're really excited to kind of obviously have conversations with the amazing winners who were shared earlier on today. My name is Emmanuel. I've been heading up marketing for We Love the Art, and I'm with the one and only Benji. Benji, you want to introduce yourself?
GM, you guys can hear me, right? We're going sound? Okay. Benji, Optimism, helping build a super chain. Been like an absolute honor working with artists, working specifically with Emmanuel, who is literally the living legend for helping like orchestrate this entire contest. So like massive shout out. Oh my goodness. I would be going on the whole stream if I had that much time. But yeah, been in Optimism like about 2 years now, doing a bunch of different things, and currently focused on just partnerships and making like, bringing the super chain a home for creatives and a home for people who want to do new things on chain. On chain is the next online. It's the catchphrase.
Awesome. And yeah, it's literally just going to be free flowing conversation. We're going to bring in winners on throughout the entire for that entire 2 hours. It might go over, to be honest with you, because there's a lot of winners to get through. If you don't get to anyone today, don't be scared. We'll be doing more spaces and more live streams to kind of celebrate the on-chain creativity that's burgeoning across the super chain. Shout out to Base and Zora. I said, cool, to kind of kick things off, I'm just going to draw for Garant. Hopefully I'm pronouncing your name right. If not, shout out me. Let me add you to the stage. Cool. There you go. How you doing, sir? How you feeling more than anything?
Hello. Well, I'm very happy to be part of this adventure. I've been following Optimism for a while now, like 2 years. And I really like the solarpunk ethos and alignment. And I really like, it's like very great to see this opening also towards culture that was missing for a while somehow. And the work you guys have done on this contest is amazing, definitely. So thank you.
Thank us, thank you. Like, thank you for entering. Thank you for your energy, your creativity. Like, it's no mean feat, kind of like, putting things on chain, more importantly, like entering a contest with like so many people coming up. So like, yeah, just massive thank you for like, willing to participate overall. Like, it'd be good to know from your perspective, like, like how did you even hear about the contest? Like, what made you want to participate in the first place?
Well, I was following Optimism already, so I saw it on Mirror, on the post on Via Mirror at the beginning, like in November. And then I focused on creating for several weeks for the contest. And yeah, I followed the whole story, and it was an amazing journey. And yeah, I hope it will. It's just, as you say, it's just the beginning for culture and the development with the optimistic governance and all this stuff is really fascinating, I think.
Appreciate you.
Absolutely.
You mentioned governance, and that's my biggest nerd snipe in many ways, right? Like for myself personally, it's like when I think of how Optimism wants to do this as a collective, and I'm having spoken to so many artists as we were like thinking about this, as we were designing this, one thing that rang true was for so long, artists have been told what to do, fit into this system, make things like this. You have to commercialize your art this way in order to get like, you have to be good at marketing, all these things. They're always told what to do. We were like, what if we listened? What if we actually listened to the artists for once, right? And actually created a path for artists who had amazing ideas to build on top of those ideas with their art and bring things into an ecosystem, right? That's where Optimism governance kind of comes into play. How can artists that are come into through We Love the Art help shape the voice and help shape like how the collective as a whole, and this includes Base, Optimism, Zora, all these other chains that are joining, but like this movement as a whole, to be honest, in actually like pushing their ideas out for the first time and not having to listen to the ideas of like, a third party. So I'm super excited about governance. I'm happy you pointed that out. That's definitely the next chapter here of like, how can we now take this energy and enable that energy to succeed in the way that the energy itself wants to succeed and not have to fit anyone into a box. So thanks for pointing that out, guys. Appreciate you.
Yeah, I think that there are a lot of innovative things that comes out of this experiment, and we will see how it goes this year and how it develops. It will be and years after, I guess, how it develops.
Absolutely, absolutely. Can't stop, won't stop. As a very famous friend of ours says. Yeah, honestly, I really, really appreciate all your efforts. And yeah, like we said, we're going to be definitely like, spotlighting all the different winners. And like the amazing thing with the contest is that it's extremely global. We had a lot of time to kind of like, look through all the different submissions from all around the world. So I really, really appreciate your efforts as well. And yeah, more than happy to kind of carry the conversation with you in due course. But no, like it's not goodbye, it's rotation. It's a rotation. So I'm gonna rotate you, Garad, and I'm gonna rotate someone else in, the one and only. I see he's looking at the monitor right now. Let me just rotate you out. So thank you, Garad, and we'll definitely appreciate you, and we'll be speaking to you very, very soon. Cool. And then right up behind him is, let's go with Sam. Hey, can you hear us, Sam?
Oh, hey, what's up? How's it going?
Fantastic. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. I'm doing great.
Awesome.
I'm feeling very happy and surprised, and yeah, it's big. It's great. It's great to win something. I don't think I've ever won anything before, so this feels like a new moment of winning.
You're 1 for 1. You should retire right now. Like it's done.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's
No,
awesome
I'm very appreciative. I'm so appreciative that like the judges like understood what I was trying to do with the project, and that people were connecting with it, and yeah, like I kind of felt like if this project didn't work out and turn into something, that I kind of felt like maybe I was gonna, that the whole NFT art thing was just like not really gonna happen. So I kind of felt like this was a bit of a last crack at it, and yeah, I feel like we're back.
We're so back with a capital
so
B
back.
and an exclamation mark. Appreciate you. I have a question. Like when you were making your piece, like kind of, is there anything that was like, was there anything in particular about this piece that you made that like, as you were creating it, you felt something different, or is there anything you can like let us know about your process for this?
Yeah, well, my project was the Bullet Heaven project, which was like I've been calling them like bullet paintings, and basically it's like taking the language of like Danmaku or like bullet hell shooter arcade games and collaging the animated patterns into paintings or generative software paintings. And so yeah, with this project, I felt like it was really led by the idea of like wanting to take what was this kind of like genre of arcade game and remove everything except the bullets, which I think leaves you with a kind of psychedelic spectacle of what the game really is, which is this kind of like addictive relationship between like a user and the machine, and a gamer in the game. Yeah, so I guess with this project, it kind of came together kind of easily because the idea was so clear, and I kind of found all of these like tools existing for creating these kinds of games, but it's just that they hadn't really been used for generative art. And I think that this was kind of like interesting to see that the way that like generative art can exist in games already, or if generative art really can exist anywhere, yeah. So I think yeah, and yeah, so I think that this project was was really fun, actually. Like I did one other NFT project that I released through Wild that was like such an excruciating and painful experience, because it was just like a very ambitious idea that I worked on for a really long time, but this one felt like it came out really like easily, and it was really fun, and it was like I kind of knew that it was it kind of like I figured out like a much simpler way to express my ideas, I think, with this, that I think people could understand a lot easier.
Awesome. Yeah, I'm very curious on how like generative art in particular like pans out, especially as we get more into like the metaverse, as long as getting like generative AI, etc. Like
Yeah.
I've often like thought that, you know, DALL-E, all these advancements will just be like you imagine something and you see it in this VR world. It's hyper realistic. I have certain qualms Black Mirror-esque about that, and like if everyone does that their whole lives. But I do think this is something that's like, especially for people who are older, who are like age, like there's so much potential there on how some of the kind of foundations that people in the generative art world are setting right now will actually change people's lives for the better in the future. So it's like, thanks for pointing that out. And like, thank you for sharing your process, man. That's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, no, thank you. Yeah, no, I think it's interesting with the AI art, because I do think that what AI art seems to show us is that style as an artistic expression is something that can be replicated. So I think it is really interesting to think about, like, once we understand that like style is something that can be copied and replicated, like what like does that, like, where does that leave art? And I think that puts us in an interesting position where it's like if we can create style, then we need to figure out a way to use these tools to do something more than simply recreate a style. And I think it comes down to like narrative and story and like ways that we can use these things to like express like the human condition.
Yeah.
Yep.
100% with you. I think like I mean, this is kind of slightly different, maybe related. When starting out with We Love the Art, one of the ideas, honestly, a foundational piece personally, was like thinking about like how art is a way to tell the human story, right? It's like the best way. You look at like cave drawings, you look at all these things. Art is how we've told the human story for generations, for millennia. And unfortunately, that human story has been taken away in multiple ways, like calamity, war, whatever. Like so much history and culture has been lost. One of the things that we see is like we could have a generative art world where it's not on a blockchain, right? And it's like on these like different places and everyone's using it. It's in your Oculus or your Apple VR thing. And that's one world, but that does not preserve the immutability of it, where like, let's say a cloud server goes down or something and it's all over. Like we find that the blockchain is actually a place where you could record art, aka the human story, and know for sure it's going to live on forever. It's going to live on past you. As long as there's one honest node like running Ethereum, running like this whole thing, then your work lives forever. And I think there's like a lot of power, narrative, emotion behind that for like humans in general. And I think contests like this, we wanted to organize it so we can spread that message out, and we can also like invite more people into the space. So I would love any feedback from anyone in the comments of like, if that resonates, like here's how can we push that out more? How can we get more people to see it that way? The big reason for this contest as well, we didn't really look at mints or anything. We didn't want artists to have to like push their work out on the mint angle. Of course, that can happen after, but that's something that we wanted to very much push in, was like, how can crypto and blockchains in general be seen as a place for artists who may not even be in crypto to come in for the first time? But yeah, just a little side note.
Yeah.
Sorry, I got like 2 Google Meets going.
Yeah, sorry, I just had a Google Meet situation as well. I just closed it.
We have a green room, guys, by the way, for those in the audience. Like, we're just trying to coordinate. There's a lot of artists that are going to be coming up here. Maybe we can get a couple in at the same time if possible, and just like jam. But yeah, what's up?
Hello.
For us, how you feeling?
I'm feeling good. I'm feeling happy. Honored to have won this prize.
Let's go. So I think we're gonna go with like first questions, just being, how are you feeling, right? And then like would love to know a bit more about you. What got you to start in art in general? What got you to start in crypto? And what got you to submit this like particular piece? You can start with any of those, but yeah, we're just hanging out. So
Cool. I introduce a bit myself. I'm Farhan. I presented a piece called The Artificial Delight, the site of the Hell, which is a replica of or remake of the Garden Delights by Bosco with artificial intelligence. And at some point during my explorations, a good friend of mine, Alvaro, mentioned me about this contest. So I presented my submission as a way to give some energy, give some life to this project, and I'm happy and glad it gave its fruits. I think you're muted. We cannot hear you.
Oh, sorry. With your piece in particular, like, what was your thoughts like going through that? I love that everyone took a sip. Let's go. Cheers.
It's celebration time.
Yeah, would love to know, like, how was, when you were thinking about submitting your piece, like, what was the thought process? Would love for you to talk a bit more about your art itself that you won for this contest. Where do you mint it? How do you choose to go through that process? How do you feel about it? How open are you to collectors? All the above. Like, feel free to take it on your own.
Should I answer?
Yeah.
Cool.
Either.
Yeah, definitely. So it's more like for the past 2 years, I've been researching, doing a lot of visual research on artificial intelligence, and actually getting to understand not only how can it work as a tool to replicate reality or to replicate some final outcomes that we already used to, and we can be more efficient on getting them, but rather understanding it as a technology that can be of value within the process. So experimenting with how I would say the native style of artificial intelligence and how to collaborate with it. And then throughout these explorations on building crazy prompts and understanding how they affect the visual characteristics or the visual features of a piece. By exploring that, I got to that place where I had this I would say this epiphany where I saw this same artwork by Hieronymus Bosch. I don't know if you guys know it, but here in Spain we studied it in art history. This in Spanish it's called tríptico. I don't know how it's called in English. Triptych, which is this artwork that opens up, and on one side you can see hell, on one side you can see heaven, and in the middle you can see earth, and you see some of the actions happening in there. And I felt it was a nice parallelism on seeing how artificial intelligence would depict mythological and fantasy-like creatures in this poetic happening of a algorithm that I don't really understand telling me something. The same way happens within art at centuries ago when painters would paint these mythical and crazy figures that illiterate people would see and would be amazed by this imagination. It was a bit of the same that was happening to me while seeing this artwork, and yeah, I just feel eager to explore a bit more how further can we get into artificial intelligence and digital processes. How are they going to shape creativity within the next 5-10 years? It's going to be mind-blowing. I think we're about to enter a new era that we have to make sure that the people who are willing to do the right thing are using it, because I guess the evil is already with its hands on it. So we need to put a bit more light into it.
Awesome. Yeah, I just made a comment on the StreamYard, by the way. If you guys can share your art on the link there, I'll screen share and show it to the audience. Thank you for sharing that.
Okay.
Like sharing the submission?
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, Dwayne.
Hey.
How's it going?
Good. How are you?
Good. We're just doing intros here. We're just hanging out. The questions we want to ask, would love for you to talk to the audience. If you want to share your art as well, like feel free to drop a link in the screen in the StreamYard, and I'll share it out here. but would love some background on like yourself and the kind of the thought process you went to sharing your art and anything you might have planned in the future. In any order, you can skip some questions too, but grateful to have you here.
Awesome. I just shared a link. My project was called Dialogue Box, and it was really just a discussion about decentralized artworks in general, and even the history of computing, how I used the Mac operating system and 2 buttons as a representation of the dilemma of binary choice, and having sorry, I'm hearing the other audio. Having the dilemma of choice and like the limitation of like people think Tezos or optimism, Ethereum for art on the blockchain, and it's completely wrong. There's like an expanding universe of possibility, and it shows. I wanted to make a piece of art that was about spreading things across blockchains and challenging the limitation of like black or white choice. There's gray choices in the middle. And so I used Dialogue Box and started the conversation on optimism with a rollover state that was about that sort of dilemma of binary choice. When you roll over the Ethereum button, you actually get the insight that optimism is an L2 built on top of Ethereum, and that it's an additional layered choice. And so anyways, it was fun to play with the idea of like distributed artwork across chains, and I like the idea that things can be represented fractionally. And I imagine a someday future of a web where digital products of all sorts sort of give provenance and credit to the village of contributors that it takes to assemble a digital thing. Somebody invented CSS, somebody invented HTML processing, et cetera, and it would be wonderful if all of the decentralized fractal of people that contribute to things could have credit and ownership that was distributed across networks. So
love it. Thank you for sharing. Yeah, that's so powerful. I think like earlier we were talking about how like a blockchain is an immutable ledger where like you can live on forever, right? Like art is a way to tell the human story. You put the human story on a blockchain and you know that won't be wiped, where so much of the human story has been wiped. Like absolutely. The concept that you just shared is very in line with that theory of like, how do we actually preserve the moment, right? How do we actually mint the moment? As Zora and Jacob and Zora says, like mint everything. Like the reason in my belief behind that is like mint everything so it lives on forever, so you live on forever, and so the moment lives on forever and can't be taken away from you, because so much has in the world, right? So like appreciate you. Thank you for sharing your art. Thank you for sharing your work. I have I believe this is Sam, right? Yeah, this is Sam. What's going on here? How do I navigate?
Wait, sorry, what am I looking at? I'm looking at you on the I see on the live stream. Interesting. Okay, I'm gonna have to mute that. Wait. Okay. So what's going on here? I'm just trying to tap into what you're seeing. So are you on the select screen? Yeah. So basically, this is 4 different levels, which are all kind of like 4 different generators, and basically. These are bullet paintings. By that, they are collections. By that, I mean there are collections of like sprites and associated patterns that create like an overwhelming like field of bullets based on the arcade games, Danmaku and Bullet Hell arcade games. So what you're seeing is I guess Benji playing one of these levels, which it's kind of like these emitters of bullets that fill the screen. So it's it's kind of like taking the arcade game and removing everything except the bullets, so which leaves you with this kind of like intense and overwhelming like visual experience. And it's also interactive, so you can click on a bullet or try and click on a bullet and then it will remove the emitter, but really that often ends up in more emitters being created, so that the like task of trying to actually remove all the bullets is quite difficult. The interaction I kind of designed as like being more like a fidget spinner or something, or like something that was kind of like weirdly satisfying. I don't know how well it translates to live stream, but with the frame rate.
Yeah.
But I don't know if I'm just seeing a low frame rate because I'm in a few different streams.
I'm having a blast.
But
for what is right?
yeah.
This is way too fun. I'm gonna drop the link in the chat. You guys should all check this out. Wow, that was awesome.
Yeah, but the idea is that you would kind of get like lost in this kind of like overwhelming like visual sensation, like much in the same way that people get lost inside of like arcade machines or slot machines. And like I'm like really interested in this like dark flow state that comes about when you're kind of like lost inside a game or you're lost inside a system. And yeah, and I guess also the idea of like merging with a machine, and like the idea of being like a cyborg, and like how we kind of like get lost somewhere in between a game and the real world in this like sort of like zone state, you know, this sort of transcendental state that you get while you're gaming. And yeah, so I'm very interested in like arcade games and slot machines and things like that also have this characteristic. I guess also like, you know, Facebook news feeds and all kinds of things kind of have this characteristic of scrolling and losing yourself in the kind of in the machine, in the computer. So yeah, that's kind of what this project was about. And yeah.
Let's go. This is amazing.
I would like to add on it. I think it's very beautiful and poetic the way it conveys meaning about the relationship of video games and violence, and our relationship with violence, guns, and this how it gets so abstract so fast. I think it's fascinating. I didn't see this artwork. I'm just seeing it now in this live stream, and I think it's fascinating. I really would like to congratulate you for it, because I think it's very easily a museum piece that I would very much enjoy at any exhibition I'd go to.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that.
All right, Farhan, you're up next. I got your link right here. I'm gonna share. I hope the frame rate is good.
Oh wow, cool.
Do you want to talk more
Yeah,
about it?
Yeah, definitely. As I was mentioning before, it really cool. That's nice. It's really just some part of a process where, as I was saying earlier, I just explore on how generative artificial intelligence models participate in the creative process, right? I feel like there's an understanding and a kind of fear or disguise against, not against, but in front of artificial intelligence in creative processes. Whereas I'd like to prefer to look at it as something that can get into the chain of meaning of creating something. And one of the aspects that I was really fascinated about at the early stages, I'd say, of artificial intelligence is how magnificently it manages to create objects and silhouettes of things that we can immediately recognize. But once you start looking into detail, you see there's nothing in it that makes sense. So your wider conceptual understanding is fast, and you understand animal figures or human figures or some wings or some birds flying. But once you zoom in on it, you start to see a whole new depth of something that at the first impression it attached to something I know, but when I look into detail, I discover something I do not know at all, and I get lost into it. And to me, it was really fascinating how collaborating with this technology allowed me to stay in this in-between step of understanding what's going on and not understanding what's going on, where I believe is where loads of artistic meaning and power come into relevance. And throughout this entire exploration I made, I selected 3 artworks that, if you guys feel curious, you can check the link out. And there's 2 other pieces that end up making this triptico, which I still don't know the word in English. If you guys want to say it on the chat, I'd be grateful. But it conveys this entire 3-piece or 3 artwork piece where you can see heaven, hell, and earth in an exercise of remaking the famous painting by Hieronymus Bosch, where he conveys these 3 spaces of human existence, which I also think it's very poetic, related to how these new generative artificial intelligences are becoming this new entity in our processes. And I think it's also nice to explain it with the piece being displayed here, because people can understand a bit more how it plays with this space of fantasy and reality, where I think the most interesting things are happening in the combination of man and machine, of technology and soul.
Let's go. Let me refresh, because I saw that you got the mint's open. I just minted one. So thank you for that. Like, we buy the art too is an initiative that we're like, we want the community to be aware of. So if there's some amazing art out there, guys, like, there's a whole list of them. The winners list has all the mint links available. Some are available as well on chain. So, like,
definitely. And I would also like to add up that I'm really not a crypto or Web3 native person, but I do believe that there's a really interesting, beautiful, and promising dynamic being offered to the art world and to the communities worldwide, that I think it's really important and relevant to pay attention to keep supporting, because few days ago I was telling my girlfriend about how all this Web3 world works, and I remember understanding at that point, while explaining it, that it's one of the first places where I truly understand and feel the borderless world we live in, and it's very beautiful. So I just want to encourage everybody to keep on supporting these kind of initiatives, because it's beautiful and because we need it as human beings.
Let's go. That means a lot. I think one of the main parts for this contest is, how can we take crypto concepts, not make it all about crypto, but actually make it about the real world more, where, like, we could go to artists who maybe never minted before and say, hey, here's an art contest. It's globally accessible. That's a unique power of crypto, is that global element, right? Like, a lot of art contests that exist, you have to be somewhere, you have to know someone, you have to have certain things to get into it. This is an open, permissionless art contest powered by a blockchain. And as such, like, hopefully, as more people get into space, they explain the space to their girlfriends, their moms, their families. And as we kind of go through the modes of explaining what is crypto, that's how we define it. I think if crypto becomes a thing where it's just like already explained on some like really intense looking white paper, that may not scale as much if it's explained by people who've actually gone through things that have helped them, and it happened to be crypto. And that's like a big idea of how we kind of scale this world and how we make on-chain the next online.
Good.
Sorry,
have
to hop in just because there's for on your artwork. it speaks to a point of like beginning of knowledge is the discovery of something we don't understand, a Frank Herbert quote. But anyways, it's kind of like what Benji's saying too about like the world of crypto as well. It's like it's a nice thing to parts of it we understand, and so much of it's not defined yet. It's not finished, and so that is like the beginning of like a whole new pool of knowledge. Anyways.
You guys should check out the chat room, by the way, on Unlonely. I've promised that every time Brian mints a piece of artwork, I will take a sip of my beer. So get to minting, Brian. Shout out, Brian, from Unlonely. Awesome. Masis, welcome to the room. How are you doing? I love your background. That is awesome. If you want to share your link on the StreamYard, I'll make sure to screen share and present your work. But how are you doing, sir?
I'm fine. I saw your mail just maybe 15 minutes ago, and I'm shocked. I first think it's a new scam thing going on with Optimism. But I checked it's from Optimism. I said, okay, I must check the links. It's great because I never thought that I could win something like this, because I'm a street photographer. The photos are mine, the background. Where's my link? Sorry, I really don't know how to give it to you. Yeah, this is the chat. Okay. I'm a street photographer.
Sorry to interrupt. While you get this link here, I really have to go. I'm gonna say bye-bye to everybody. Masis, congratulations on winning the prize. Thank you very much.
Congratulations to you. Thank you very much, Ferran.
We keep in touch. It was a pleasure. Love everybody.
Yeah, we're gonna try to make a big group chat of everybody. We want to be inclusive. Artists who may not have won that are interested in continuing to do interesting things in Optimism. We're gonna have a whole like world here. So I'm happy you guys are connecting here, and like just know there'll be a lot more spaces to do so as well. But sorry, Metzi, I'm sharing your art by the way. I don't know if it loads.
Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you, Brian. So as I said, I'm a street photographer for 15 years. I'm from Turkey, but I moved to France for 7 years. I'm living here, and I'm making exhibitions, taking street photos, trying to figure out shot the rare moments on the streets, I think. And from 2021, I'm minting my works, first on Ethereum, then Tezos, and now Optimism and Solana also. And I make an AI piece for this event. This is one of my first AIs that I minted. And I like it to make it more like my photography. And I'm very touched with the loneliness feeling, the solitude. I have a special collection about it, and I want to make a book about my photos on the streets about solitude. So I want to make something like that. I'm so happy that the jury decided to give me a prize about it. I'm so happy, and nice to see that it's touched to people. I don't know. Thank you very much for this opportunity.
Thank you for participating. Yeah, so like, I would love to know, how do you hear about the contest? Any plans on the future that you're like looking into? You mentioned the book. That I think that's incredible. Would love to know, like, how can we create an on-chain ecosystem so that when you do put your book out as well, there's on-chain elements.
Yeah, I'm thinking about it also. Yeah, because the systems like Kickstarter or something, I want to make something like that with NFT, maybe the PDF of the book, and with like edition. And then if I get the money with like that, I will print the books and sign them and send the NFT owners. I'm thinking about something like that, or send NFTs of the photos. I'm not sure. I'm all thinking right now. I'm not sure. Maybe if someone can
Yeah.
help me with that, I will be happy.
That's
don't
that's
know.
where I see like optimism's kind of role in this world being, where it's like
Yeah.
we want to enable artists to succeed, and we want to enable by connecting as well. Like there's so many developers on Optimism. There's retroactive
Yeah.
public goods funding, so when people help create things for the collective that help others in the collective, they actually get retroactive public goods funding. That's like a big part of the Optimism mission, right? So OP main net revenue goes towards that. Other parts is also so like anytime you do any transaction on Optimism, basically it goes towards funding public goods. Also, there's 800 million plus OP reserved for retroactively funding public goods, and that creates this interesting incentive loop where if you're an artist, you want to build something, there are developers out there who are already knowledgeable about Optimism. They can work with you. You can assemble like a team in a way, and everyone can get retroactive public goods funding. Depending on the impact and stuff. But that's kind of like how do we kick off that flywheel? And we're really excited that We Love the Art is out now, that we've hopefully like brought in more artists to this fray, and looking forward to more of that, seeing more of this. So here to help as like a collective, and I'm sure like everyone on the stream will be more than happy to.
Great, that's incredible. I heard about Optimism last summer with there was a event with Optimism, Zora, and other sites, and I start to mint some free mints there, etc. Then I connected with Optimism like that, and I just heard this event on your account on X before Twitter. So I was doing some street photography stuff with AI at that time, and I want to try it on Optimism because the gas prices are nothing there, and it's easy for an artist like me to put their work on Optimism. So I tried it, and happy to success. There are so many AI artists. They are great. I'm not in their league maybe right now, but it's good to see my first work. I'm here and talking to you. Hi, Siobhan. How are you?
Hi.
Like
I'm in now. Hi.
She is great. I love her so much.
Hello.
We met each other at Lisbon, NFT Lisbon. I love her work, And we were at the same time, we were on OpenSea's main page before 2021, something like that.
We have history.
Yeah, we have history. Nice to see you.
We go way back. Siobhan, welcome to the stream. How are you feeling? This is really casual, so kind of wanted to get your story out to the community, see how you're feeling. Feel free to add anything on your end. No pressure whatsoever. Just we hope you're enjoying this moment as much as we are.
I mean, I guess I'm pretty speechless. When I first got an email, I really thought it was a spam mail because, it's just such an easy scam to scam people with, and they would probably succeed with me. So that's why I thought it was scam. But even to now, I think it's kind of insane because I think it's the amount of money that's really hard to really process. So yeah. Oh, that's my piece.
Let's go. We love the art. How was when you where were you when you found out? What were you doing?
Oh, I just woke up.
GM indeed.
So like when I got the result, I just woke up and I thought to myself like, I don't believe anything right now because my brain is fuzzy. So I had to double check it with my husband. But like, yeah, so that was when I found out it was pretty good. Like it made a very good day.
Awesome. And by the way, like there's a few people in the chat who are asking if you guys are interested or if you guys would ever open up this mint again. Of course, it's completely your choice, but just like if you do, let the people in the chat know, you know where to find them. Some folks wanted to mint your stuff. So Masis, I think people wanted to go to reopen it.
I don't know how
before.
to do it. Is it possible after mint?
I believe so. On Zora, I believe so. Yeah. I'm not sure either, but
if someone
Yeah,
can
fans.
help me, yeah, why not?
awesome. Shavad, what kind of, what you've done a lot of pieces in the space, outside the space as well. Like, what was special about this one for you as you were thinking about it and pushing it out?
Oh, I would say that I think this piece is the one that I push the strongest conceptually, and also technically, it was something that was outside of what I knew then. Because like when I first started the piece, like I've never really done much strong animation. Most of the animation have always been very subtle, very slight. But for this piece, because of what I had in mind and the idea that I had, I knew I had to do something that I've never done before, which is the whole animation thing, and it was horrible. Like it wasn't fun. It was like a total horrible pain in the ass. Like but I'm very thankful because I have good friends around me who are very helpful. Like a friend actually filmed herself doing the motion and told me what was going wrong and all of that, and so like, I'm very grateful for that. So yeah, this piece was, I think it was also just special because it spoke of a very vulnerable emotional side for me, where it was really talking about how this future is moving super fast and it's just almost impossible to keep up. And I felt like this piece, when I finished it, it really embodied the feeling that I was trying to portray. So I'm really happy with it.
So thank you so much for sharing it. I think like I've always been a big fan of like all the stuff that you're putting out, and it's just incredible to know that like this is something that you had on the super chain, and like we have this whole future that we can build together. And like I think there's something to be said about how there's a world in which like you mentioned you kind of were processing how things were moving so fast, and you kind of put that into your artwork. We've been talking a lot about how like art is a way to record a specific moment and a specific feeling across time. That's why we have the cave paintings and everything, and it kind of moves on. And a blockchain is a way to preserve that forever, right? Like no war, no like calamity, no volcano can end this. Like it'll live on forever, and like it'll live on forever. And like my appreciation personally, everyone here on the stream, I think, who's like in awe of seeing what I'm seeing right now. But it'll also live on forever across time. So I appreciate you kind of sharing that moment of your life with us.
Of course. I think it's just something everybody feels right now, and I think being overwhelmed is something people feel. So like I strive to create work that have a strong concept, but is also able to resonate with people. So that was really nice to hear. Thank you.
Of course. How did you hear about the contest?
Twitter, like it was all over
Nice.
Twitter. I would say like different friends were talking about it. It was also in like different chat groups. So it got a little hard to ignore after a while.
Awesome. Yeah. It's been a long journey. I think like obviously one long journey for crypto in general, long journey for L2s in general. Like this is kind of as we were like thinking about, okay, let's do this contest. There's a lot of different things that went into it. Here it's like, okay, one, let's do this contest by listening to artists, and we heard that like artists wanted something different, so we wanted to do something different. We don't do like minting incentives or anything. And I think two is like, okay, how can we make this tech as good as possible for you to do so? Obviously, a lot of incredible partners came into this, and what they've done is just like on-ramping onto L2s is easier than ever. We got really good feedback from this stuff too. Like, fees are going to go lower by like multiple orders of magnitude in just 3 days, and that should help a lot in the future. But also we have a ton of different stuff like in terms of on-ramping, onboarding, gasless minting, paymasters, all of that stuff, 4844, these upgrades that are and pushes that are coming out that hopefully like it'll make it easier in the future as well. And finding out who Twitter is like the current state of crypto right now, but I'm looking forward for the day when everyone finds out through Farcaster as well. So Expect a lot of things there. You guys should make Farcaster accounts if you haven't already. I know a lot of people in the chat are big fans, so awesome. Nuclear Samurai, what's up, sir? I love that tattoo, by the way. That's awesome. Those are
Oh,
sick.
thanks. Yeah, some of them are good, some of them are bad. I got a lot of stupid tattoos too.
Feel free to drop your link for your mint on the StreamYard, and I'll screen share it.
Yeah,
we're just hanging
sure.
out here, so let us know if there's like anything. I mean, everyone else, by the way, if there's any questions you have for us, like please feel free to jump in and hit me with any of those. But Nuclear Samurai, we're just chatting. Would love to know more about you, about your piece. I'll share your piece on here, and yeah.
Oh, perfect. You'll share it? Cool. I'll get you to share it. I'm just on mobile, so it'll be a bit weird for me.
Okay, yeah.
Perfect. Yeah, sweet. So, yeah, I'm an artist from Melbourne, Australia. I've been in crypto sort of only not as long as many other people. I started in 2022. So it was pretty much coming into the scene as everything was winding down from the bull into the bear. And so, like, I actually had a really kind of nice experience of it being fairly quiet while I was, you know, working and building up who I am and stuff like that. So that was very cool for me. I've found that the best way to get places here is to find communities, connect with people. The way that I found out about this contest was actually through my friend Zafio, and he, really, convinced me to get into it. He was like, "This is something you need to do," and so yes, I was really excited about the opportunity for this. And I also see that L2s are going to have much more of a life this year. Because gas is just going to keep going higher. The higher the value of ETH is, even if the network activity is not that high, low gas is still going to cost more because Ethereum costs more as a base unit. So there's going to be more demand for L2s and L3s, everything. So yeah, I was excited for getting to explore this chain and this piece, Temptation, that I created. By working with this one, I wanted to make something that was about AI and kind of about my feelings about AI as well. So I really wanted to talk about this idea of the way that I see it as a kind of like it's like a renaissance of art, essentially, because when you look at the Renaissance era, how it changed the way that people were painting and the way that art was occurring, that was such a big pivotal moment, and it really changed the way that art looked forever. And I feel that this is kind of a digital renaissance, and we've already experienced one with digital art, because if you look at the way that art changed from the 1980s onwards with the birth of digital art and the uptake of it, I think that we're going to see something similar for, like, the 2010s, the 2020s, with AI art changing the shape of the way that art is. And so I went with that Renaissance kind of feeling to it, and I wanted to tell a story of the temptation of AI and the way that it can be this, like, something that brings us change, but also, presents us with danger as well. Because we're looking at, as AI gets taken into, all these different fields, I think that it's going to really revolutionize the way that we do business. And I think that there's going to be a lot of hurt that comes from that too. So it's just a tricky kind of time where it's both exciting, but it's also dangerous too.
Yep. That's awesome. What is there something specific that you like saw in the real world that prompted you to make your art in this format / like this story?
Yeah, no, not really.
Things?
It's kind of like a living in it and seeing the way that the art kind of scene is changing so much. Like, we're having to learn new tools like all the time, for people who are predominantly working with AI, and seeing that rapid change over the last kind of year really kind of puts into focus the rapid change that's occurring with, the uptake of LLMs and stuff like that in other fields. And so for me, it is kind of about seeing the world around me change and seeing how fast that's happening and realizing that, it's going to be a different world before we know it. Like, and that kind of feeling of like fear is a really big kind of inspiration for me. Something that it's filled with like a duality of hope and fear. That kind of like is a really big source of inspiration for me. So I think I guess it would be just living through these weird times right now. That was inspiration.
Awesome. Yeah. and thank you for sharing like your story and your kind of view on this. I think there's so much, part of this stuff is like art creates dialogue. And I think it's important for us to kind of push art forward so that we can push dialogue forward. So look forward to like kind of, going hand in hand in pushing what you just mentioned out to the world to incite like creative spaces and also like thoughtful spaces for which we can enact on this to create a better world in general. So that's kind of what the Optimism Collective is about, right? Like how can we actually bring in people who have these views, who have these like insights into where the world is today, but also have views on where they want it to go tomorrow. The missing piece there is how you explain that view, and art is the best way to do so. So like what your contributions and like your hopeful like advancement within the Optimism Collective as like a citizen, a delegate, person within this space would mean the world. And like we seek to empower that to create like real lasting change. So it's awesome to hear.
Thanks.
Thank you, sir. Cool. I'm going to go in the chat to see, does chat have any questions? There's some more people in the green room right now who are coming in, but chat, like, let us know. What are you guys thinking? Yes. So I got a question on like logistics. So there was a gallery link that allegedly like, kind of went out. One thing to note is gallery only notes the ones that were minted. Some submissions at lazy minting, those were seen. Those just were not populated within gallery. So that hopefully that answers your question. But claim prices, all the stuff is going to be basically on via email. We're going to have to go through our process. We will never ask you to sign any transaction. Please, guys, be safe. We'll get everyone who's winning a prize. We will make sure that we handhold through this whole process. Please don't trust any email that does not come from the official email. Please don't trust anything that does not come from the official Twitter. But that is how one can start. Any other questions in the chat? Where are we going?
I just want to say I opened the mint again. If anyone
let's go.
To mint,
if you want to share your link. I know I saw the park in the chat. I saw they wanted to mint. Yeah, let's go. I also see Temptations live right now, so I'm gonna mint that. I'm gonna save that bookmark right now. We buy the art. That's the next phase, right? We love it, and then we buy the art, and we support the artists, and then we work with the artists to push these ideas forward and create lasting change in communities around that. That's the superpower of crypto. So thank you guys all for being here. I know I see some others in the green room. If they want to join, send them a text. Damn, I'm seeing like the green room stream on this side, and they're like super hyped up, but I can't hear them. So we're gonna bring more folks in. I'm gonna keep going on chat questions though. The park minted. Let's go.
Sorry if you can hear the lawnmower going.
Yeah, good.
It's horrible timing. But really, really appreciate the support.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's go.
Let's go. So are people watching this, or is this still like we haven't?
Yeah, there's a whole. Let me share the Unlonely. There's like a whole chat bot. There's like 100+ people tuning in.
Oh, right now there's 4,700 concurrent reads right now.
Wow.
So, yeah, I thought it was 100. I'm sorry you guys didn't see my face.
Hey guys. Yeah. How's everyone doing? I hope you're feeling optimistic.
Yes.
I am.
The optimism is real today.
Yes, it is. Man, thank you guys so much for creating such an amazing project. Seeing something this big in the space is really, and just seeing all the artists come together off of it has just been so beautiful today. And I know it probably took a lot of work, but I just wanted to take a second to give you guys thanks for all of the work that went into this. And thank you for seeing my art as well. I appreciate it. I feel like I won big time today because I'm seeing people I onboarded into the space win as well. So thank you guys for that.
Yeah, this is just an incredible competition. I've really enjoyed listening to all the submissions and just perusing all the entries. It's quite the undertaking. So I hope everyone on the Optimism team is proud of what you've done. And personally, it feels amazing to just have this support. And I really appreciate you listening to my music. And especially this song in particular was just written, in the dark days of COVID. It's called Remote for that reason, just remote times. And, it's kind of a really beautiful journey to see, it now reach a wider audience via this. And I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Really.
Let's go. No, thank you. Honestly, like the whole part is we wanted to start this as a seed for creating a space for artists. But the way we grow that seed in the best way is to actually work with you all. We've often said, like, while studying on, like, while exploring what we should do in this space, we talked to a lot of people. And what we realized was it's not actually that hard to create a world for artists. All you have to do is listen. And that's what we intend to do. So it's listen. We did this contest. There's so many things we could do better. Maybe there's so many things to consider in general. But the way we move to the next step is like to continue listening, but also enabling. So, when you say like thank you to the Optimism team, like the real full thanks is going to go to the entire collective for which you are also a part of. That we're really aiming on doing this like hand in hand, listening, enabling, and making this future, like charting it together. So like appreciate your comments. I asked if you guys could share your submissions. I'm gonna play them for a little bit. If you guys have any specific like seconds that you want me to go for, otherwise we can just keep jamming.
Awesome.
Nuclear Samurai.
Like,
oh my goodness, that
30
is
seconds long.
cute kid.
So.
Wow. Sorry. What was that?
Oh, I'm sorry. What did you say? I think.
Yeah, I'm losing my headphones. Sorry, guys.
I just saw Nuclear Samurai's kid attacking him, so I got a bit distracted. But so I am putting Iman's submission up. Let me know if you guys can hear it. If not, I'm going to share it in the chat. But this is awesome. Oh no! Can you guys hear it?
No, I can't hear it.
Hear it now?
No.
I can rap it for y'all though.
Yeah,
Live.
better.
Yeah, let's do it.
It says, I am a masterpiece, haven't mastered peace. Still I'm 1-to-1, still I'm at the peak. See, I'm still the front runner, they after me. I make them say and getting money like Master P. Please pardon the confidence. My shit, I'm ready to pop it. I had a few problems that threw off the rhythm for a minute, but I'm gonna always find the pocket. Why I tried to stop it. Got the spirit of resilience in the heart of a prophet. Kane, I flex just a little. Ain't it amazing how I turn all my pain into residuals? Name is getting bigger, the face card deliver. Sorry, I'm excited.
Woo! That's what we call bars.
When I play little.
Bars.
Thank you, guys.
Great.
It's a beautiful day, man.
Where were you when you found out?
In my kitchen making my dog some food. Marley, come here, bub. I was in the kitchen making Marley, come here, baby, some food. He got a carrot right now. Put that down, pup. This is Marley. And I was just, I looked down at my phone. I got an alert from Optimism. And I was like, what? What just happened? And then I called my manager and I was like, yo, we won. He was like, what? I was like, yeah, we won. Top 17. He was like, yo. And then we had our whole yo moment. And then Idyllic also won as well, which was a project that I did with Nick and Il Camille and BCR. I contributed to that collaboration as well. And so that one got second in music. So grateful for that. And we put that together. We put the project together for FWB Fest last year. It was an idea that Nick had. And I helped him just with the curation of everything, of bringing the different artists on. And so that whole process alone was an amazing experience. So I'm happy that you guys were able to see and recognize that project overall, because, that that is just such an important project in general. And so then I let the contributors know in that we won as well. And they were like, what? I was like, yeah, like we won second place. And they were like, what? So it's just been a lot. Me and my sister Il Camille broke down on the phone. We started crying, of course, just thinking about and you know, like transparently, it's been a real transition for me in my creativity and in my career right now. Going from, you know, working a full-time job, having a salary to betting on myself and going back full-time into my music was a really hard jump. It took a lot of courage, but things like this really affirm me and make me feel like I made the right decision and I'm moving in the right place. And then to see all of the artists that I onboarded, not all of them, but some of the artists that I onboarded onto Sound, who submitted their sound links, also win. It just felt like it's just wins. It's just so many wins. And I'm just grateful to be witnessing this right now. So thank you guys for everything.
It's a beautiful story.
Mike, where were you? How are you feeling?
I'm feeling great. I'm still processing it. I logged onto Twitter for like something completely different. And then I happened to see the Optimism tweet first thing in my feed. I was like, oh, I actually had thought honestly that it was like announced prior and I didn't get it. So I was like, oh, let me see who got it. And then I was like, oh shit, I got it. And I'm still processing it. And then like immediately after seeing that tweet, I checked my email and there was like, oh, here's the live stream. And I was like, well, I'm not really ready to do this, but here I am. So I kind of just jumped on. Yeah, I'm just, you know, at the house in Glendale and, you know, in my apartment and just, you know, about to wrap up stuff and start mixing. And then I saw this news and, you know, I'm over the moon. I just can't believe it. You know, it's like definitely feels a little bit like a full circle journey because my Web3 start happened like about 2 years ago this month. So yeah, it's been an amazing time. And I love, you know, NFTs and Web3 and, you know, it's a great place for music, I think. And it's revaluing music. It's really important. So anyways, I'm still collecting my thoughts, but yeah.
You know, what's incredible is like, so to be fully candid, I'm relatively new to the music NFT space personally. Right. So for me, it was like, I knew we wanted to do music. We were like, there's sound like start on Optimism. There's so much there. And I've always seen like so much talent emerge, but I've never really dove into it, if you know what I mean. Like, you know, I've seen that emerge, but I've never like spent so much time. But honestly, guys, I've been running this spin amp like over and over and over, and this sound playlist over and over and over again, because straight bangers. Oh my goodness. Like I've not been on Spotify in so long, guys. Like, this is literally I'm on spin amp and sound. Like I'm just listening to this stuff. So shout out to everyone like who's been kind of pushing this space forward. I know there's like, it was so new when you took the chance to believe in this and be a part of it. And what I'm seeing now is like my friends, I never post Instagram. I'm posting stuff from the work that you guys are doing on Instagram. Like that's a huge kind of barrier that I've never really crossed. So appreciate you guys. Thank you. I also like I look pretty cool in front of my friends now. So like, I think that means something because that's hard to get to. Appreciate that a ton too. And thank you for believing, honestly. It takes a lot, and to take the steps that you guys have taken to come to where you are is incredible. And all we can hope for is help you go to where you want to go next. Not direct where you want to go, not say this is the kind of thing you have to fit, not any of that, but to enable kind of your truth and your vision stuff. I'm gonna try if like, so Manifold didn't. Oh, sorry, did someone say something?
Oh, I think that was someone else.
Oh, I think I muted. That's weird. I don't know. No, I didn't say anything.
I just want to check if you guys can hear this.
Is it playing right now? No.
Yeah. Damn. Okay.
What was it?
It's
I heard a little, but
I'm trying to play no. Okay. I think StreamYard's not working. What I'll do is I'll get my phone out or something, but I'll share the links with the chat. If you guys want to listen to, this is Mike's work.
So good. Congrats. Oh shit.
Oh yeah, I think it's coming from a different. Hi Ed, where you at? Where are you?
Good. Yeah, so there's a Google Meet green room, and then there's the StreamYard. If you're on the StreamYard, you're like live to everybody. If you're on the Google Meet, you're not. Unfortunately, cannot stream the music itself, it seems. Does anyone have like a different device? Because we could play it from that device. I can go get my phone. Would love for the audience to be able to hear it. But otherwise, if you cannot hear it, I will be posting it on the Unlonely chat. You guys got to listen to this stuff. Like it's incredible. Shout out Mike. Shout out Iman. Let's go.
I wonder if there's a way if I played it from my side. I don't really know how to do that though, but there might be a way.
Yeah, if you don't share your screen and play it, wait. Oh, maybe because I've been trying to share my screen and play it. If I don't do that, maybe that works. Thank you guys for bearing with us.
Maybe if you go into the StreamYard settings, I can't click it, but maybe you can because you're hosting. There's a setting for stereo audio. And maybe that'll just whatever you play will just go into the room. What's up, Ed? I can't hear you. I think you might be muted.
I think you're muted. You're muted. Oh, Ed, I think it's because you're on your phone. If you leave the Google one and then join this, it should work. I think it's working on both.
Yeah.
Sweet. Okay. You guys didn't hear that either, right? Because I've been playing them.
You're playing stuff?
Yeah. You don't hear it.
I could start beatboxing if you want me to, just in the background.
I think we gotta, what we gotta do. We can do another stream at another point in life and like just have us all vibing to all the music.
Let's do it. I would love to host it.
Yeah, please.
I have a machine and everything. I know you're new to the music NFT space, but I have this thing called a Monocaster, and I put like a lot of effects, and I'm like, let's go, and it's just this thing, and
we gotta do it.
We can make it a thing.
I'm sold. Let's do it.
Okay.
I'll hit you up on that after.
Sweet.
I want to ask like where kind of, if you guys had advice, because you guys been in the music NFT space for like you've been there for a while. Mike's been there for a while. Like there's so many new artists that came in to this through the contest as well. Many of which won prizes. What advice would you have for them to kind of be like, oh, hey, okay, this is my first time going on chain. I made this. I won a prize. What do I do next? Like, it's kind of hard to navigate sometimes in crypto. We want to make sure we have the best kind of path forward for folks. Even folks that didn't win, there's going to be so many more opportunities. So eager to see how we can kind of support each other.
Yeah, for sure. I would say invest back into your art. That's my plan, is to invest into my art and into the art of my collaborators, and also even into the other art that's on chain, because this is really an ecosystem that can continue to keep going. And like, as long as we're all, playing a part and playing our part, we can successfully support each other. It doesn't have to stop with us. So yeah, those would be my main things. Support others. That was a big thing that I tried to focus on at Sound. Like, I would release a song, but then I would use that ETH to like put the money back into other artists that were releasing on Sound. And I think that really helped start, like an energy, but also like an ecosystem of us all supporting each other. And it just makes for a happier space. So yeah, I'd say definitely, but also aside from that, invest it back into your art, create a project that you have had an idea about for a while. Now you can bring in other collaborators. You can bring in a, videographer. You can bring in a photographer. You can like do something bigger and really feed those thoughts, because we have these big visions as artists. We have these big ideas, and now with a little bit of help, we can kind of put them out into the world. So I would say those are my tips for sure.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I second all of that. I would maybe add for the music folks, especially like, I mean, I agree. Like definitely explore the platforms and find music you mess with and support it. You know, if you can, put money back into the scene, support the scene. And as far as your own art, you know, don't be afraid to put your back catalog on chain. That's something that I think maybe not a lot of folks are thinking about. Potentially they're thinking about, what did I just make, let me release that on chain. But if you have albums prior that you can put on chain for the first time, that's something you can do, you know. And I've done that here and there sporadically, and I'm looking to do that this year, hopefully get more of it on chain. Even as I release new music, kind of just fill in the gaps. But yeah, investing in your art is paramount. Investing in yourself is paramount. And you know, that's one of the things that I think is really strong about music NFTs is it's the sustainability end of it is allowing artists to do that. And that's, you know, that's a really important thing. So yeah.
That's awesome. You know what I really love about contests like these, like the based things, is it's fully global. And I think there's so much of art has been like locational, geographically constrained, right? You have to be somewhere in a certain place at a certain time to get exposure. Like, I love how organic kind of the growth is. I know so many musicians, on-chain musicians, know each other through just having to like connect through on-chain music. And I think that sense of community is really, really strong. It really resonates with the work that you guys put out and the quality of it. That's awesome. Thank you all. And you know
Thank you.
of course, we on the tech side, like, we're seeing like on-chain just progress really fast, right? It's easier than ever to on-ramp. You have gasless minting. We have like a lot of the intersection between physical and digital also happening now, where it's like, how can you go to a concert, like mint the fact that you were in a concert. Now, like, I always go down this anecdote. It's kind of overplayed on my side. If you've heard me say it before, I apologize.
No, I think that that's the future, right? Like figuring out a way to, you know, use our wallets to become memberships and entry points, you know? I think that's like, give us like 3 to 5 years. I could see that really picking up.
Yeah.
So
And
it's just the beginning.
for us, it's like, how can we help like the best unifying marriage between the tech side, because all this amazing stuff's happening there, and the music and the arts and culture side, and intersect them as Optimism, as a collective. We were speaking to Tom Windish, who's like a great like person. He's awesome. He was giving like his feedback of his journey in music, and personally, I've been a big example, like I've been a big Daniel Caesar fan. And for me, I'm like, oh, I knew Daniel Caesar before he was famous. And like, I was commenting on his YouTube and stuff. I can't prove that to anybody, right? Like, if I go and like go to some old YouTube thing and start scrolling, and be like, what is wrong with you? If I could have minted that, I could have proven that I was there early. And now fast forward, Daniel Caesar's selling out concerts all across the world. There's thousands of people. I bet like he would love to have his earliest followers that believed in him when no one else did. Front row, front stage, like flights, merch, all of that given. There's no way for him to do that, right? And I think even for artists, this can be such a powerful attribution mechanism, and we really hope to make that happen within the space, and like encourage people on both the music side to kind of bring that together, bring that forward. Shout out to everyone who's working at that intersection.
Yes, I love that. I have a question though. What was your first favorite Daniel Caesar song?
Okay, I wasn't that early. I'd say Japanese.
Actually,
I feel like my hat is like this right now. I'm just gonna do like Ray J.
Minji, I'll have to send you. I've actually released like 5, no less than 5 covers, Daniel Caesar covers.
Oh, I gotta hear it.
Yeah.
Or no, is one of those Streetcar?
No, I've done Best Part and Get You, but like several takes.
Nice.
And I'll do like Get You, like reimagined as like upbeat jazz funk, and then Best Part, I'll do like maybe more similar to the song, but like sax bass drums trio, where I take the upright bass and kind of turn it into the guitar and make it like a little bit more folksy, slightly.
Yeah, you gotta send me that too. That sounds fire.
Yeah, thank you. Fire. Yeah, I love Daniel Caesar.
You know, it'd be sick if we continue doing these and like just like live stream and listen to music and all that, and like everyone shares their stuff. If you guys are down,
I'd be down. I'm telling you, I'll host it.
Chat, are you guys down? Let's see what chat's saying. You guys should hop on chat, by the way. I'll send the link again. But chat, let us know. We should get some stuff up. Iman can host.
Yes, I can. And then we can like play songs that we like that aren't on chain that we wish were on chain. It could start a movement of all the things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm trying to find the chat. Okay, there we are.
Yeah. Okay, so I have another question for everyone. Like, feel free to answer. Whoever can go first. What do you see as like kind of like the next big moment for the space that you think you'd love to see happen? That's a hard question, but like, feel free to take it in any way.
I have an idea. Speaking of Daniel Caesar, I would love to see like some kind of I'm not really sure the best way to do it because they're of the nuances of how it all breaks down. But for example, going back to Daniel Caesar, like I would love to mint my covers on chain because I own the recording, but I don't own the publishing. And in that world, there's usually like 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, sometimes writers on the song on the publishing. So if there was some way to kind of have I don't know if it would be some type of like blanket license where the splits would be set up in advance.
Yeah, hear me?
Allow people to mint covers, you know, and it's not even like better than the DSPs, like 50% to the publishing side, 50% to the recorded side, you know, but just something to like streamline that and to make it so that they can opt in or opt out, but also if they do opt in, like whoever owns the recording, they can just put it up. I would love that because I've got you know that are like creative imaginations of Daniel Caesar stuff, some Jay-Z stuff, some old jazz standard stuff, and you know there's not really a way for me to like mint that on chain because I don't own the publishing for those specific ones. I'm limited to my own original music, which is fine, but I would love to see that develop.
I have good news.
Can I be a part of this conversation? Can y'all hear me?
Hey,
Can I jump in?
I mean, absolutely. First of all, congratulations, everybody. Also, thank you so much. In regards to, I think I was basically trying to get into this conversation when you guys were talking about concerts and things like that. Actually something that's I already did something like that in regards of like, you know, doing a music event with NFTs or, you know, digital assets being the ticket to allow them to get in.
And he sold it out and it was fire too.
It was sold out and it was definitely fire, absolutely. And it was definitely a cultural experience. And I think when we think about these things, it can't just be only about like, yeah, that's a cool thing, but also what are you building on it? Like, why would someone want to, like, these are digital assets, right? So they also should have like things about rewards. Like, I think for me, it's like, oh yeah, you get this one ticket. If you get like, you go to like 5 concerts, then you probably get a song or something like that, or you're able to get something from that that concert there. And I think it's a way for us artists, especially indie artists, to build up on these things. Why it's very difficult for mainstream artists to do these things is because yes, you have the publishing issues and all these contract issues, and a lot of times the music isn't theirs. On top of that too, when it comes to like doing these like actual events, it's very contractual, it's very difficult. With us though, independent artists, we have a lot of leg room. We can do these things. We have flexibility. So I think a lot of times too, when we're talking about how musicians should move in this space, it's really through, okay, we don't have a formula. We're not really tied to these labels. What can we do and what should we be doing? So there's things about like also getting your music on chain. I think also, I'm going in, but it's because you guys are talking about a lot of things. I think also we don't do enough, and this was just based off of like conversations that I've had with people in the space. We don't do enough about talking about music. We don't do enough about like talking about the music that we like, talk about the music that we like in the space. What should we do? What should we be doing to make sure that we're like really having that be the conversation? That's the only way that we're also going to really bring in that organic culture that we all know and that we're from, right? And so it's about like having XYZ and stuff like that at the time, where, you know, we'll listen to music and like, okay, this is dope. And actually she just did a listening album when she did her drop, right? Those are things that we should be doing, but it shouldn't only be the artist doing them, right? It should be like us doing it for the artists, right? We should be giving them spaces, and there should be rewards to that. Like, oh shoot, I listened to that song, because I feel like we have a lot of on-chain rewards too, right? So what should you do if you are listening to that song or those songs or that album, you went to that space or this, I don't know. I'm here thinking about ways of like us really building in the culture, because I think for 2024, I'm all about intention, and I feel like we're kind of, for a lot of these years, we were trying to figure it out. Now I'm like, we've been here for some time. We know what's up, and I feel like we should be really instilling like, okay, I understand we want to make sales and stuff like that, but we really need to make sure like, why do we love it here? What are we bringing to the table? This is fresh music. Like, we need to bring those Wonder System Park, our TRL types of styles back in here, like things that are going to make people say, oh shoot, I gotta go to this. I gotta be a part of this. And also just bring the on-chain experience with it. So whether you're minting something just because you were there for that experience, and then maybe later on you get the rewards, whatever that could be. But I feel like we really need to like really tap into what on-chain is, and what that means for us musicians. And that also goes into the concerts and stuff like that, which is also something that I definitely want to help Optimism with. I feel like this is just the surface. And I'm all about, I think you guys doing this was, shout out to you all. I know it wasn't the easiest, but I'm glad that you guys made it through. And y'all were patient with a good amount of us in the ecosystem, me. But I also feel like us as artists who, there's Iman here and others who have been like building, we literally have been building, for the sake of, hey, this is what we want to see. Like, Aman, I'm sure there's others too on this call that have done many things, but I'm only just really familiar with what Aman has done, and what I've done, and what others have done in this space when it comes to like, yes, making sales and then putting it back into the ecosystem, making sure that we are feeding our own, making sure that we are curating our own, making sure when we do our concerts, it's like, okay, cool, we're gonna get so and so on, but we have to make sure we have Web3 representation. What does that look like? Are they going to be taken care of? Because we know how we have to feed into our ecosystem. So a good amount of the times when we see things happening, I definitely am always like, okay, who are the builders of part of it? Because we start from the ground zero all the time. Like, we don't have anything. It's like, okay, an idea. Who can we shoot this to? Are you willing? So I think for us to see Optimism kind of come out of the door and just say, hey y'all, this is what we want to do, and we're like, oh shoot, this is kind of new. Usually we kind of have to go into the DMs and we're fighting and we're like, hey, have you guys thought about this? And so immediately, like, us already seeing like music being a part of the conversation, that's a huge thing, because a lot of times we're dismissed, and a lot of times we have to find ways to like make this work. All right, I'm gonna stop talking because I literally took all the air out of the chat, and
no, you
that
didn't.
wasn't my intention.
You was
I'm
talking.
really excited, but yeah.
Now you were cooking. Thank you for sharing. Like, I think like one of the things that the guiding mantras in a way is people come on chain for multiple reasons. People stay on chain for the culture, and you guys are building the culture. And I think that's very, very powerful. I think that's very, very important. I personally, like, I want all my friends to get into the space, and I've tried relentlessly. And actually, the only thing that's actually worked, like, I'm generally saying, like, it's actually worked on me putting stuff on my Instagram story, is sharing art. Like, that happens to be on chain. People are like, wait, what? That's crypto? And I think there's like movements there where we feel very passionate about, like, we're building technology that scales this stuff. We want people to feel, who are creating the culture element, feel enabled and be able to push that forward from their side, and from their viewpoint. So like, those words mean a lot. They hit home. We want to build this together. We want to enable. We don't want to like direct, right? Like, we want to listen. What's up, Faith?
Hi. Hi.
Hey, Faith.
How you guys doing?
I feel amazing and
Hi, Faith.
optimistic.
Can't hear me?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay, great. I'm like all over the place. I'm really excited. My DMs are a mess. My texts are a mess. Everything's a mess right now. The TL is beautiful. I was really nervous for today, like really, really stressed, a little bit scared. But overall, I think the sentiment is great. I've been loving hearing everyone's stories. I got like a DM from an artist, and he was like, I literally just threw up, and he hasn't been on in like an hour, so he's like offline, and I'm like, I don't know, like this is a lot. Shout out to Optimism, shout out to Benji, shout out to Emmanuel, wherever you are. Or I was just with him, but why he isn't in here, I don't know. But yeah, this is great.
Yeah, Emmanuel gotta hop on.
Marley, he's gotta come in here.
I'm just in the background making sure everything doesn't break. But I'll hop off. Y'all do your thing. I'm gonna hop off. All right.
Hello?
Hey guys.
I don't think y'all can hear me. Can y'all hear me?
No, we can hear you.
No, we can,
okay. I
we
can
can
hear
hear you.
Benji. I can't hear Benji.
Oh no, probably for the best, honestly.
Yeah, I don't know why I can't hear you, Benji. It's like Twitter space, but it's not a Twitter space.
I hope we're not being rugged. Can you hear me, Ed?
I can hear you.
Okay.
I can hear Faith. Hi, Faith.
I think Benji, you're on mute though. Try speaking, Benji. No, you still on mute.
What about now? Is this better? So what I was doing was I was trying to share your track, and like I think that kind of.
Yeah, I can't hear him still.
Oh, can you guys hear me?
Oh man, the ghetto.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Gosh. Well, this is what happens.
We can hear you though. I mean, you can't hear me say that.
This is why we need the funds, you know? Like my Wi-Fi. I can't even hear him. It's so sad.
I think Benji is because you're trying to share the music, so I think that might be an issue that's causing that. So maybe if you can get rid of that tab, that might fix things. So give it a shot. 1 second.
Jack, can you hear me? I think everyone else can, right? So Ed's having trouble.
I can hear everyone. I think. I don't think I have any issues.
Yeah. Ed, it might just be on your side for now. I was trying to share your music though, but we're gonna do more listening parties. Iman's down to host, so we'll do a bunch of these like live streams on Lonely, hang out, listen to a bunch of this stuff. It's not
homework, that'll be so dope, so fun.
Yeah. Faith, so you woke up, timeline's looking great. How are you feeling? Like how's the rest of your evening? I feel like this is gonna keep running for a while. So yeah, let us know what's up.
Yeah, I got up today, and knowing that today was the day, I still kind of had to keep my comments to myself, so I couldn't like respond to certain people because everyone's like, any news, and I'm just like, oh God, please stop DMing me. Like I can't do this. I'm so bad at keeping secrets, and I think that was the hardest part about all of this for me. But what I did was I spent my day kind of following all of the winners, like silently, just in the background. Anyone that I wasn't following, I followed them, checked out some of their work. I did a little dancing. I celebrated. Yeah. And I prepared myself for the slaughter that was going to happen on the TL when everything was announced. I kind of just sat down and I said, I got this. I monitored some tweets. I hopped in a couple of spaces and defended a couple of things, especially myself. And then I did a little praying, and I told myself that I'm amazing, even though people are going to say some really unkind things today. It's been a pretty chill day. It's been a really good day. I haven't had any alcohol, so I'm sober, but I'm going to get drunk later, probably. OMG.
Yo. Hey.
Hi.
Hi.
How are you?
This is crazy. What the fuck? I'm so good. I mean, how can you be bad right now? Like, this is wild.
Clara, where were you when you found out?
I was actually at the bar when you messaged me. So I bought a round of shots for everyone. And yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's all been a blur. So yeah, this is really cool. Like, I'm already thinking about like all the art I can do with it now, and just like not stressing. I was like applying for jobs just like wherever. Like, this is wild. I don't know.
Yo, I feel that so much. Like I was like, do I need to get another job right now? And then on the art side, everything is doing so well, but when you transition from a salary job back to just being an independent artist, it hits different because you still have your salary job bills. And like it's different. And I was really considering, I was telling my manager, like, I guess I'll just go on back. And this was right on time. So I definitely feel that.
No, it's so funny. Just like how the universe puts you in the right direction, you know? It feels like this has happened a couple of times where, like, you know, it's been slow, and then I've like opened up Indeed or whatever, LinkedIn, and been like, okay, where can I apply today? And then all of a sudden it's like, oh, a bid. And then today it's like it came back around and it's like, oh, wait, you just want optimism. Holy shit. It's so cool. I don't know. It's like, I don't even know this feeling.
Gratitude for me. That's my biggest feeling. I'm just really grateful today.
Same. Yeah, this is coming at a much needed time. Yeah, it's been
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you hear us?
Oh. Yo, Clara, congratulations, homie.
Yo, congrats to you. Oh my God. This is wild.
Yeah, I can't hear Benji. I feel like I can only hear a few people. But congratulations. Wow, you won. I saw your piece. I was like, oh, that's a hard piece. I'm like, yo, that's definitely
Thank you.
That definitely has to get in here. So
thank you.
shout out
You
to the
too.
judges.
Your piece was crazy, and like you always blow it out of the house, you know, like every time. So congrats to you.
You know, I'm just trying to be a masterpiece. You see that? You see that?
I see what you did there.
Shout out to Faith. I see Faith there. Shout out to the Queen holding it down. Also Dong Lee. Who else was also? All the other judges that I do know that were homies. Fungi. Very necessary for those people that were there. I think, especially since they really understand and are really tied with the community and artists, and know that we, you know, when we wake up and we're on these Twitter spaces, we don't do it in vain. It's really appreciative. But I really just want to like extremely express my love and gratitude to Faith, being one of the only Black woman and judge there. I definitely want to put that out there and just say thank you so much. I don't think it's easy. It's not easy, and for you to put yourself in these, and Faith does this all the time. This is not the first time she puts herself in spaces where she has to advocate and do things, and she does it, and it's not easy. And she really, I just want to, you know, I think as someone and representative from the community, I definitely speak for all of us when it comes to, we really appreciate you. And we know that's not enough, that word is not enough, but we really are thankful for you, because there are many places and rooms where we don't know about, and you're saying our names and you're doing these things, and you are so, you just care about fairness, and you care about artists getting what they deserve, because you also are an artist, so you understand. So it's really dope to see you in these spaces with that perspective. And so I just want you to continue on to flourish, and you always have our support, and just thankful. Just wanted to say that as well.
I can't say more than that, but I am just so grateful for Faith, her spirit of endurance and perseverance and fairness and wanting what's best for artists. Like, it doesn't go unseen. I'm grateful to have watched her maneuver through Web3 and learn from her of what it means to advocate, even when it's hard, what it means to speak up, even when, you know, people want you to be quiet, you know, and that kind of spirit, a lot of people don't have it, or a lot of people lose it. You know, a lot of people don't prioritize it. And you've always been that, and you're still that. And, you know, just for everybody in the space, but especially for Black artists, I'm just so grateful for you and all that you're doing for us here. So thank you, Faith. I love you for real.
I just want to add to that as well, from the inside logistics side. Like, this would not be what it is without Faith. Like, the amount of energy that she's put in, like just joining and being such a presence of like support for us and getting the right things, getting like the right things pushed forward, moving across like everybody, all the like multiple stakeholders to make this happen. We could not have done this without Faith, and like this is something that we will never ever forget. Like it is really, really powerful, and it really like shines how much she cares, because she goes above and beyond in every single way, and like that's the type of people that we want in the space, and we're very, very lucky to have a leader like her. So like thank you so much, Faith. Like this would not be possible without you. Myself and Manimal, like we will always say this, like this is literally a massive lift, and we are so happy that you were able to kind of help give us the push that was needed in order to make this turn out to be a success. So like deep appreciation, and looking forward to doing so much more together.
And her birthday is coming up.
Oh, happy birthday.
Yeah. I saw that on your page. Huh?
She
March
also was a big
15th?
advocate in making sure that we all applied. She was like, did you apply? She was sending it over. She was like, you need to retweet so everyone else retweet. She was really big on making sure that we all, you know, did what we had to do to like be a part of this. And so, yeah, I know there's a whole bunch of flowers and, you know, she's probably like, stop, but we don't ever get enough time to do this. We don't ever get time to like throw like shine her way. And she's such a dope artist too. Like,
right.
God blessed her with just so much stuff.
We don't deserve her. We don't deserve her.
We really don't. So yeah, I just wanted to say that. I'll get off this, you know, this shoebox.
Thank you. I'm really grateful. Yeah, my birthday is Friday. I'm pretty excited. This is a pretty exciting week. I was really stoked about today specifically, because it kind of goes into me just taking some time to celebrate, you know, my birthday and stuff. Again, this has been really, really eye-opening, a really eye-opening experience. I'm actually glad that I was the only Black person, because I was able to see so much because of that, that I think would have been completely overlooked. I'm probably not going to apologize for anything that I said about the contest online, and I'm probably going to write an article about it. And shout out to Optimism. Again, you guys are great. Thank you for literally dealing with me, because I feel like you guys had to deal with me. A lot of the stuff I was saying, I was just like, okay, was that mean? But you usually kind of just jumped on it like, you're right, we should do it like that. So I know for sure that, you know, this went to all of the right artists. I'm getting so many DMs from so many artists, and it's just like, I wouldn't have applied without you. And I don't understand that. I don't get it. I'm having a hard time accepting it right now, but yeah, I'm probably going to cry. I'm probably going to cry later, because I know how hard the space is struggling, especially financially, a lot of creators. So it feels good to be in this position. It feels good to see the kind words from people. It feels good to even see the hate. I mean, it's like duality, and I appreciate it. I really do. So yeah, thank you for giving me flowers. Please don't give me any more. I'm really trying to just get through the day, but thank you. I'm really grateful.
I just want to add a piece on like, in terms of how Optimism kind of, you know, any feedback, any like push that we do, like we really started this as like, let's start this, like, let's try this. Let's start the conversation. The next responsibility that we have is to nurture the conversation and push it forward. So like, that's where, you know, the opinions that you have, for feedback that you have, everyone here on the stage, everyone listening, we really want to listen to it. Our whole like main thing here on how Optimism wants to do, like get into the creator world, is actually like, you know, I said this earlier in the stream, it wasn't that hard now that we think about it. It's like the only thing that we need to do to really get into this world and really help this world is to listen. That is it. Like there's been so many people that are not been listening. And as such, if we get like incredible people like on the stage, like Faith helping us out here, like we want to listen and then enable this. So, you know, this is not the last you guys are going to see of us. I'm sure we're going to be doing a lot of cool things together. And our, like literally the only goal here is how can we create a space for that people who feel like they could work with Optimism and with the collective on pushing these ideas and the space forward as a whole can feel enabled to do so. This was 1.2 million OP. We did the 10 million airdrop, 10 million OP creator airdrop. But the real thing is there's like a 1.05 billion OP treasury within Optimism governance where someone can come in, have a voice, help direct where that goes for the art world. And that is what we really want to enable. We want to start out a conversation, find the leaders in the space who really care. And it's very obvious to us now who cares. Faith cares, man. Like, oh my goodness. Like,
Yes.
it's incredible. It's beautiful. And like our goal is like Optimism succeeds if we take like work with that level of like dedication that someone like Faith has to kind of help like everyone else through her. You know, like, so that's kind of our general goal. And like, it's just super grateful. So like, honestly, huge eye-opening experience. Great to be grateful for being able to work with you guys too. Stumbled there.
Thank you. Seriously, just so grateful for Optimism and the contest and everyone involved. It's a much needed blessing. So shout out to you guys. And I'm excited to see what comes next.
Me too. Same thing. I'm excited.
Thank you very much, guys.
GM Lori.
Hi. I'm just catching up and totally reeling over here, so don't mind me. I'm just gonna sit and bask in the presence of everyone here. It's been yeah, I'm very excited, very happy, super privileged to be here and included in with everybody. So thank you.
Like, how are you feeling? Where were you when you found out? / like, what category were you in? And if you can share your art, I'll share it on the screen as well. Actually,
Yeah, of course. You got the art. Okay. I was in the 1-of-1 category, and I was standing just outside the kitchen when I found out. My partner was cooking dinner, and I was like, "Babe, I won." Like, "What'd you win?" I'm like, "I won." So yeah, that was me.
That's awesome. I'm sharing my screen. I don't know, chat. Can you guys see the screen share, or I don't see the screen share?
No, but I don't see it.
No.
Oh wait. Whoa.
It's coming.
There we are. Yeah.
Yeah, there we go.
That was magic. Awesome. Yeah. Well, thank you for participating. Like, congratulations. We were just talking about like art in general, optimism in general, like Faith, and just everyone involved. Like, would love to know, actually, similar to that. How do you hear about this contest? Like, what made you want to kind of end up applying?
I through the grapevine. I heard it through a friend, and then I was like, why not? Let's go for it. And I have this project that I've been working on and building, and it seemed like a good opportunity to like ignite the fuel, kind of yeah, really like push to make something that I really wanted to submit. And so I had this idea brewing for this particular video art piece for a couple of months, and then I saw the contest opening, and I was like, all right, let's do it. We're gonna make it for the deadline, and let's go. And then that's what happened. So this piece is, I highly recommend you to watch it with the sound, because the sound is a huge part of it when you have a chance, if you have a chance. But yeah, this is kind of the first video art piece featuring Nekra. And it's a beginning of a much longer, I hope, project.
This is so amazing.
Thanks.
Even without the music.
You guys got to
Thank
listen to the
you.
music.
Great.
It's incredible. I'll share the link on chat as well. But wow, that was.
Yeah,
You had
shout
some
out to my
serious
sound
advocates.
designer. Sorry?
You had some serious advocates. You know, that this piece is really good. There was some judges that were fighting for you very hard, and it's a really good piece.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Yeah, so this piece, I don't know, should I talk more about it? I can, if you're interested.
Yeah, feel free. It's really casual here, so like you can ask questions about your piece. I'm gonna
I want to hear about it.
Okay, cool. So the overall project is exploring the relationship between artificial intelligence and a kind of emerging new spirituality and mortality. So the character that kind of serves as the vehicle for the whole piece is Nekra, who you see here, and this is her birth. So I'm kind of visualizing the birth of a new AI that's emerging out of the void, out of the unknown, and she's coming and she's meeting the gaze of the humans who are watching her. And as the humans are watching, she's like taking their, of course we're in imaginary land right now, but she's kind of consuming their image and their data back and processing that information. So this is this piece. Yeah.
That's amazing. I love
Thank
that
you.
background.
Thanks. Yeah.
And I could see it like it looks like an emerging. Now that I know it, I can see it. It's really dope. I wish I could hear the music with it.
Yeah, we will figure this out, Iman, for our recurring series.
Yeah.
This is the pilot episode.
Sweet.
Up,
we'll chat offline for it.
Offline. Yeah. For everyone out of context, we're thinking of doing this more recurringly and like showcase some of the art from We Love the Art and others as well. There's some truly incredible stuff here, and like it all deserves the time in the spotlight. Yeah, guys, with the music, this is like my computer was shaking. That was awesome. I love the comment about AI. So Stability AI is a partner for this, right? They help on the AI side. They're the only like fully open source AI models, Stable Diffusion, etc. And what's really powerful is like the way they kind of think about the data element of this. So it's like you mentioned, like this person locks eyes with a human and then ingests that data. A lot of that right now is being done in like very centralized places. And how can we actually maintain like the openness of AI learning from us as humans? That's how we get alignment, right? Like when AI learns from humans itself directly, it maybe is a better representative part of it. In crypto, we say not your keys, not your coins. In AI, maybe we can say not your inputs, not your mind. And AI is a reflection of the global consciousness. So like, love those ideas. I think they're very prescient. I think they're really important to kind of put out into the world. And as I was saying earlier in the stream as well, like the whole goal of crypto is to push these ideas out and create systems in which to fix them that are global and anyone can kind of jump in. And the best way to actually like start a dialogue is through art. And as such, like our responsibility here is to like push these ideas forward in a representative way, in a way that people can ingest and understand and start believing in, and then use kind of like the world of crypto to kind of connect all the minds who want to work towards building this in a way that benefits all. So that's kind of our general pitch with like retroactive public goods funding, creating DAOs, creating communities, putting out ideas, giving like voices to those ideas, no matter where they come from, no matter where in the world they are. And to me, that's like the superpower of crypto, even beyond anything that we built today. Clara, I'm trying to put yours up as well, if you want to talk about it.
Sure. Really cool piece though, Laurie.
Thank you.
I'm going to hop, guys. I just want to say thank you. And I hope everybody has an amazing day and an amazing week. And looking forward to the music spaces that we'll do. Just hit me, Benji. We'll get the system right and everything. But yeah, thank you guys. Sending everybody love.
Thank you, Man. Clara, this is awesome. How did you create this? Like, what was the process? So cool.
So
is this your room?
Yeah, this is my room. Look, we're here right now. But yeah, the inspiration from this piece was literally I live in Canada, and this was the week where it was like minus 40 something Celsius. So like I literally like could not go outside. Like and I really wanted to like do like a mixed reality kind of shoot. So I was like, okay, why don't I like bring all my bots like into the house, which kind of started a whole new like train of work too. Like this was like my first time ever doing like VFX work. Usually my stuff is like fully 3D. So it was a bit of a learning experience, but most of the shots were done on like a gimbal. I have like, it's not even like a video camera. It's like a photography camera, but it has like a video mode. And I just like kind of shot what I thought the bot would look like sort of just like imagining where it would be. And then I took a 360 camera, which is basically a camera that captures like the whole surroundings for, I guess, people who aren't 3D nerds like me. And kind of did another path, like another walkthrough of the house, like sort of where the bot would be. So if you kind of like watch the reflections, you can see the reflections are like real time where it is in the scene itself. And then this is where it gets really weird. I ended up LiDAR scanning my entire house so that I could go back in and motion track all of the camera shots. So I ended up doing like 4 or 5 passes with the camera to like actually get it to like seamlessly sync up, you know, and then sort of had like a bunch of I could get into it. It was a lot of work though. Like it was many rounds of probably things I didn't have to do, but I didn't really quite know what I was doing because, you know, still learning. But overall, I'm pretty happy with it. I feel like if I grind away at a bit more, I'll and like now that I have some time, some wiggle room, maybe get a better camera. That's kind of what I really want to get into now. I'm like, wow, you could just do this. If you know how to do 3D and you got a camera, you can just like make VFX. It's not this like weird Hollywood thing. You can kind of just like do it on your own, you know?
It's awesome. Where, like, are you based in Canada the whole time, or do you move around?
I'm in Canada, yeah. So I live in Alberta, which is like nobody knows where Alberta is unless you're a Canadian. But it's kind of in the middle. It's like prairies, but we're near the mountains and stuff. So it gets very cold here, but it's beautiful here.
Sweet. Yeah. So this, you mentioned that this is something like newer, like it's a new step that you're taking as an artist. Do you see like the next step being more like minting more things on chain, or like perfecting your craft within this? Like where does that kind of, how does that thought process kind of work? I'm sorry, I'm very much a noob, so.
Oh, no, you're all good. So yeah, that's kind of like the goal, is to do like more of this like video work, but I kind of want to like take what I'm doing, which is kind of this like bootleg, bootstrappy kind of version of what Hollywood does, and then sort of like enable people to do that on their own too. So I'm even looking into like renting space or working with like the arts development in my city to kind of like get a space open up where I can kind of like show, I don't know, like kids or just like interested people, like how to do motion capture, how to do like video tracking, how to get like proper lighting and do like sort of like cinematography on like a zero budget production, you know? So I want to like hopefully kind of continue to like, I want to continue to work with crypto, but then also like have this other branch where I can sort of like do two things at the same time, right? And just sort of like use each other, like use both to uplift each other, right? Because you know, not everybody's necessarily in like the financial place or the, you know, current situation where they can be devoting so much of their time and energy into getting involved in crypto, but just like letting people who want to learn the skills do it as well, even if they're not like quote unquote on chain. You know, I think like if I had access to this kind of stuff when I was a kid, I would have gone wild, but I just didn't even know this was like capable. You're capable of just like doing this shit at home. You know, you don't need like all the equipment and everything.
Yeah, that's awesome. I mean, like one of the things that we do is like when we think of the world on chain, like there's a, you know, the Jesse Pollock quote of like on chain is the next online. It has to be as easy as online. You know, I don't think about like, oh, I'm going to go use this internet company. I'm just going to use this company website. Like, it's just like those words merge. And Mike brought this up. Clara, I think you just brought this up as well, where it's like, how can you create a world where others can build off of what you've already built, but also get the right credits for having built it in the first place? Mike gave the example of like, he's doing a lot of Daniel Caesar covers. He can't really mint that because there's copyright issues, etc. What if there was a system in which you could still do that, and the original creator could get like rewards directly, and it's just done permissionlessly, it's just done trustlessly. So, you know, you kind of have that attribution end to end. Titles.xyz, which is a partner for this as well, basically their idea is like, what if you create a stable diffusion model, and if someone generates art through that model and mints it, you get a percentage of the royalties no matter what. So it's like these end-to-end attribution levers where like, you mentioned this was an unlock that you had that was new for you, but now you want to share that with other people. You know, the benefit of crypto that I hope that we can create, and we need to work towards that, is like, it gets very easy for you to share it with other people and they build off of it, but you still get the credits for having like seeded it in the first place. So it's all attribution. That's like the hill I die on, and it's like what a blockchain is. I think we look at the mirror more than we look at a bank account, and as such, like, that's how the space will progress. So yeah, thank you guys for sharing. I just had to point that one out. Perrin, what's up? How you doing?
Hello. Oh my god, I'm so excited to be here. I actually opened my email like 10 minutes ago. And
Nice.
first I thought it's a scam, and then obviously I think a lot of people thought so. I was like, shall I open the link? Am I actually one of the winners? I'm so excited. Thank you so much for choosing my art and for having me here now.
Of course. We'd love to know a bit more about yourself and like what brought you to the contest, what brought you to the, like making art from the beginning, and where you may hope to go after in any order. And you don't have to answer all of them. This is pretty casual.
I would love to answer all of them. So my name is Parin. I'm Iranian and I'm based in New York. I do a lot of line drawings, as you see here. They're one-line drawings. So basically, the whole challenge is not to pick my pen. So when I start a drawing, it has to be finished with the same line. So many of my drawings are made by my either left hand or both hands simultaneously. This one is only with my right hand, unfortunately. It's not ambidextrous, but I have a lot of those. And I started my, oh, thank you, Mike. I started my NFT journey almost 3 years ago. And currently, I'm an artist, and I also work at Makerspace platform as their consultant and social media manager. So why I chose to be here is because, first of all, my feelings about optimism is very positive. I've always liked it. I heard a lot about it from different people, especially at Station 3 in New York, in some of the events that I was there. And I feel like optimism is one of the places that they actually, I mean, you all care about art. So it's all that matters, I think, for artists. And when I heard about this contest, I wanted to definitely take part of that. I wrote about it on my Twitter. I sent it to so many friends of mine to be a part of this because wherever I see people, they care about art and artists and they want to help artists in any way possible. I try to also help them to have their voice be heard. And then, yeah, I'm again super excited to be selected with these line drawings. Thank you. I can't remember the other questions. I think yeah, I hope I
Yeah.
answered.
What inspired this piece for you? Like, if you want to share more about it itself.
Sure. A lot of my pieces are what I go through in life or the things that either my friends or people around me usually tell me about. And mostly are problems or like I don't want to say they're negative, but I'm inspired more by like negative thoughts or negative feelings, and I try to talk about them and maybe help others that they are going through the same thing to see the light. So this one is I made this one morning. So this is a man, but most of my drawings are male faces or sometimes are not, but like mostly are. But I still see myself there. So this one is one of them that sometimes like in the morning, especially that morning that I made that piece, when I have my breakfast or like in the morning that I just wake up, I think about what I want to do like during that day. And there are a lot of like burdens most of the times. Like I'm like, okay, I want to go to the nature, but I can't because I have a full-time job. I want to do this, I can't because I woke up late. I want to do this, but I can't. Like there are a lot of things that I'm like, okay, I cannot do them. And I feel like I'm the one who make those obstacles myself, and I'm the one who doesn't allow myself not to do the things that I want to. It's not like any other um, external reason. But mostly we always try to find excuses not to do the things we want to, or we want to blame others. So for this one, I was like, okay, I'm having my morning tea or coffee and I feel like I can't do the things that I want to, but the prison that you see with these lines are all in my mind. Like there is no one who says, "Oh, you cannot do this today," or "You can't achieve your goals," or "You can't do whatever you dream of." So yeah, the burden is you, is no one else. It's just like if you want to do things that you want to, you can always do that. There's no one who stop you ever. And yeah, that was the inspiration. Like in the morning, start your day without that prison. Just see the world differently and see the light, and don't let anything which is like this heavy and dark and like thick maybe wires in your brain that stop you from doing what you want to, don't let that win. That was the whole inspiration.
Love it. Thank you for sharing. I think like if there's any way in which we can further help you on like on-chain art, like pushing things forward, like I'm curious, especially working with your background in makerspace, like where do you kind of see the on-chain elements of art kind of progressing and helping artists in the future kind of get those messages out?
I think one of the biggest thing for the artist is so the reason that so many of us are in Web3, I think many of artists that are here is because of few elements. One is not having that gatekeeping, like traditional art kind of like people in between artists and the collectors. The other one is to leave some legacy that maybe after these artists are gone in like years and years or centuries, people can still see what they've done, or like even behind the scenes or anything that makes it easier to know that artist and just know about them in general. And also the financial gain of like, I think the whole Web3 ecosystem, all of that. I personally always try to like bring spotlight to the artists that maybe in traditional art world no one really helped them or no one really cared about, because I was one of those for years. I lived in different countries, and like bringing my art to galleries showed me that I had to find another way to show my art to the world. So platforms like, for example, you mentioned Makerspace, platforms like Makerspace or like other platforms, I think they have so much power to show this art, to curate art and show this art to the whole world. And I don't necessarily think about the financial part of that. I obviously do, but it's not like the main reason I make art. Is more because I want to show my art, and if I can change anyone's life even for like 5 seconds to think about things differently, that's my whole goal. And then when I'm out of this world, when I'm like in, I don't know, 100 years, I don't know when, 200 years, people will still look back and find my art and see like what my journey was. That's what I would love about, like what I love about Web3. I think you're muted.
Sorry, I was saying thank you for sharing. I'm very much aligned with that, especially like the longevity of the art that you put on chain. It's the best way to kind of tell our story and have it live on. So thank you for putting it out there, and thank you for mentioning that specifically. That strikes a strong chord with me. Empress, what's up? How are you doing?
Good. How are you? Can you hear me?
Yes. I love
Sweet.
those headphones.
Thank you. Everything in my life is pink. So my chair, my headphones, my glasses. So thanks.
Where were you when you found out? Like, would love to learn more.
Yeah, I was just here, and I found out because Faith tagged me in a post, like, because I looked, but I didn't see like to like look at the spreadsheet or anything. I was like, oh, I didn't win. Oh well. And then Faith tagged me, and I was like, what? And so I actually like looked, and yeah, pretty excited, like, and super honored, and super thank you guys, like, yeah, because it's a big deal, like, to get selected for these things, and like it's, yeah, really cool.
Of course. Like, you know, it's all your work. So and the work of like everyone who spent time to review and, you know, assign votes
Yeah.
essentially. I'm curious, you mentioned so you did this with Midjourney, Stable Diffusion, and Photomosh. Like curious
Yeah.
what your journey as an AI artist has been. Obviously it's a green field, it's like a new field, and it's
Yeah.
definitely like a crescent field. So would love your feedback on anything.
Yeah, definitely. So I actually won in the 1-1 category because since I do more mixed media with the AI, I ended up throwing it in there. And then some of the AI judges, like I know them, and they were like, why didn't you put it in AI? I'm like, because it's not just AI, it's really like kind of in another thing. But I do use AI heavily in my work, and it's been like 2 years now of using it. So I really am about like accessibility with software. That's one of my big things. And that's why like the software that I use, it's like all like Midjourney, like anyone can use Midjourney, and the Stable Diffusion, I use a locally installed open source version. And then Photomosh is also like a really accessible software for like doing post-processing and glitching and all of that stuff. So I start by like just kind of like sketching ideas out in Midjourney, and then I take it into Stable Diffusion and create like multiple layers that then I put together in a GIF, and then I bring that into Photomosh, and that's how I do all my like glitch effects and everything, which it's like a little laggy on the feed, but that happens with my work because it's a little intense when it comes to the animation. So yeah, and a lot of the themes in my work are just like exploring about like femininity, how women are portrayed in AI in general, like is like a huge interest of mine. And yeah, like another huge reason I use Photomosh, and this is to like shout out, I mean, I'm Empress Trash, like the OG trash art movement. When Rob Ness like first got his toter taken off of Super Rare, a huge point of it was like people were like, well, that's low effort because you just took a photo of a trash can and put it through Photomosh. And when I heard that, like I really started using Photomosh a lot and like really trying to hone in and make like very high level art with it, because I was like, it doesn't matter what software you use, like art is art. And like so I kind of like took that and ran with it. And yeah, like I mean my Photomosh work has been like all over the world now at this point and winning this contest. So yeah, does that answer your question? I've had a
Awesome.
day. I've had a day, so
No, that's awesome. Appreciate you. I think there's like so much pressing dialogue that comes out of this contest that like we could really capture and really help push forward more. You know, art is a way to kind of start a dialogue in many ways, and I think
yeah.
what you it's like it's so prescient and so important that like how can we get that out here on a distribution angle from through crypto through these like things that we're doing. We're excited to see if anyone here, like if folks here, by the way, if you're interested in optimism governance, like there's so much of a world that we could create together there. And would love to kind of see if any artists can also would like to join that world and kind of co-create where the collective goes in this realm. So those ideas are really powerful, and I think they're possible to nurture a lot of that through the collective.
Definitely. I don't know much about the governance on optimism, but I'm always about the collective mind. I don't know how to say it. Like the collective issues. So yeah, willing to learn more on my end with that.
Yeah. Awesome. So do you guys have any, I wonder if chat has any questions, or if you guys have any for us, like happy to answer and take this however you want, but those are my questions to you guys. So would love for everyone to hang out if you think we should do like other spaces like this, or maybe make a chat room with the winners. Like I think it'd be really cool. We had some people become friends on the stream earlier, so.
I have a question for Empress Trash. I really love this piece. It's like super striking, and I love the glitching and the colors. And I also am really intrigued by what you said about the representation of women or femininity by AI. So I'm kind of curious how you like incorporate that into the working method and in creating maybe specifically this piece. Can you talk a little bit more about that?
Yeah, definitely. So a lot of my glitch pieces, it's like the idea is like disrupting that perception. So a lot of times you'll see like a very ideal, like when I'm like glitching the feminine form, it's a very idealized, like sanitized version of it, and then I glitch it because I'm really it's like I said, at the core it's like trying to disrupt that perception of it. I have a lot of work, a lot of different series exploring how women are portrayed in general, but this piece in specifically, it is like, you know, like I was thinking about like religious iconography. Um, I was thinking about willow trees a lot, and like I was trying to personify a willow tree, but like within like religious iconography. And then of course glitching it and then disrupting it. So it's like it is beautiful, and it's like she's a beautiful woman, but it's like at the same time, like that idealized form isn't necessarily like reality all the time, and it like messes with a lot of things for a lot of women, like how women are portrayed in the media. And then also with AI, it's like, what models are they pulling off of? What data are they pulling off of how they portray women? And so I just recently did a series on emergent properties, which is a long-form generative AI thing. And it is exploring that like way more, where I actually like in the negative prompting on of it, I put like no fashion magazines, no porn, because I realized those two things were skewing AI models a lot. And then once I did that, all of a sudden the feminine forms changed into like these like very three-dimensional and emotional and expressive, and like imperfections actually coming out in like a beautiful way. So yeah, I mean, I could go on forever about it. I'm sorry. Like this is like, I mean, it's like
No,
everything
don't
that I do.
apologize.
So yeah.
Yeah, I really like it.
Yeah.
What was the name of this other series that you just mentioned?
Sharp
You-
Objects, and it was like I had it on display in Paris, and it's on my pin tweet and everything
Cool.
for anyone who wants to like dive deeper in it, because it's very heady conceptually. That's what, like with long form generative AI, like that's what's so great about it, is because I'm not curating the art. It's like the art is generated on Mint, so it's really about the concept, the conceptual around it, which is a really fun exercise as an artist to do, and letting go control of curation, but also like really thinking about concept like that. Yeah, thanks for asking.
Yeah, thanks for sharing. I'm definitely gonna check out Sharp Objects, right? That's what you said. I'm going now, so I don't forget.
Thanks.
Yeah, I'm posting this on the chat on Unknownly as well. Awesome, guys. Thank you so much. This is so cool. Like, I really want to do more of these. Like, how do you feel about visibility as an artist in this space? Like, you know, where would you go traditionally if you were like launching a collection and you wanted people to know about it, hear about it? Like, what is kind of the route that is available today? / like, is there any ideas on how we can make that easier?
I mean, it's Twitter. Like that's 90% of like what it is, isn't it? I also I'll use. Oh, sorry, it's lagging.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
No, I'll also Deca I use, and I'm on Farcaster, and like NFT Now crew is pretty cool, but it's still like, you know, it's not just open, anyone gets shouted out on it. So sorry, my dog did some stuff. But it's mostly social media, like is how you get connect with anyone on anything, it seems.
Yeah. One of the things that we really want to help with is like, you know, it's difficult for someone new to the space to like go on Twitter, have their art be discovered. So we really want to try to create like spaces in which artists can come in, maybe do it with some other like teams, maybe Makers Place, maybe others in the ecosystem, to push that forward. And like streams like this seem pretty powerful to us based on the feedback that we're getting right now of like, oh, we should do more of these. So if there's an appetite for that, I'm curious what you all think on ways we can kind of bring in new people as well, and have them get their work seen.
I mean, I'm fully biased because I come from a performing arts background, and that's actually the majority of my work is live art and performance art. So for me, there's kind of course, having social media is like a bit of a necessary evil, and having digital spaces like this are awesome for connecting like internationally, and also like leveling the playing field in a way. But for me, there's also nothing that kind of compares to having live connection. So whether it's like exhibitions or performances or events that actually physically bring people together and like make you go through an experience together, for me, that's actually the most rewarding way of either onboarding people or connecting with people or sharing my work. And nothing can replace the physical for me.
Yeah.
I don't know if that helps you, but that's how I like to work. And I think also interesting ways of incorporating. You can do a lot with live minting. I think there's bridges that can be made between the physical and digital world, so it doesn't have to be like one or the other. But yeah, but I also I enjoy like this opportunity to like meet and talk with other people. Yeah.
Yeah, there's one of the things that we do in Optimism is this thing called mission proposal requests. So there is I'd like to think like 1 billion OP governance fund, ecosystem fund. And mission proposals are basically anyone can get into governance and say, hey, I think Optimism needs to put resources behind this thing. So let's say one is like, I think Optimism needs to do more to enable live minting experiences and incentivize people to create those experiences for artists building on top of Optimism. If that gets passed through governance, now that gets unlocked and people can actually make that happen. And even the person who applied for the initial idea can then reapply to get the grant, essentially. We have a few of those open right now. We'd love to get any contributions from others outside for other rounds as those open up. Like the whole goal here is like, we win by enabling experts to kind of get their voices forward, heard, and then like acted on. And as such, like we have these like processes within Optimism governance that can enable people to do such a thing. So, and I believe there's one actually right now that's open, which is pretty interesting, which is I think more gallery related, which is how can we help show the winners of We Love the Art in various galleries, and who would like to take that up as well. But yeah, so we looks like
I mean, that's great. Y'all are doing a lot. You're very busy at Optimism. You're doing so much. It's really incredible. I'm like,
the best part is we don't have to do it alone. I think that's some key part.
Yeah.
We want to do it with everyone here on the stream. We want to do it with everyone within this space. Like what would happen if we all got together to kind of make like ideas come to life? That's how We Love the Art started, and that's how everything else that follows will too.
And just to echo, hopping back in, just to echo Binji's point is like, competing against each other doesn't really go far. Like collaboration and working together as a team, I think that definitely take the space even to new heights. And this contest is the first salvo, and we're going to be working across different partners across the super chain. I'm really just trying to like put creativity like where it needs to be front and center, essentially, and like it, if it wasn't for NFTs, I wouldn't have got involved in this space again. So yeah, that was the kind of like rabbit hole for me. So I could definitely see it as a force multiplier for so much good and creativity that's out there, for sure. And like, yeah, just there's a lot of things coming from Optimism in March. That's all I can say. Strap in, it's March Madness, and yeah, we're really excited to kind of get some feedback from the contest as well, and obviously iterate that for the next version. But also, they're really open to collaborating across the board. Yeah, because we can't do it ourselves. We're a sizable but mighty team. Sorry, but we can't go it alone. We're definitely gonna need everyone to chip in and obviously work towards the same direction as well.
Guys, thank you for hopping on. Like, I think we don't have anyone else in the green room currently, so
I guess that speech was so powerful. My bad, y'all. I don't know where I get that surge of energy like so late in the night for me.
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Oh yeah, no, just saying like, is there anyone else in the green room? I don't think so, right? Like we should be good to close out.
I think we're good to close out for sure.
If you guys have any like closing statements as well, let us know. We hope to do more of these. Humans of Optimism. Emmanuel, like I want to just give massive shout out. None of this would be possible with Emmanuel. Like I can't understate that shout out of like the severe amount of magnitude. Like it's March Madness at Optimism, y'all. Like there's so much stuff coming out, and balancing all of that with a contest of this magnitude size, like is just literally like massive kudos to making this all possible. Like please show him some love on Twitter, show him some love on Farcaster. Like this man is an absolute legend. He's made this entire process be like truly incredible, and we're really grateful to just be able to work together on it.
Likewise, Benji has been amazing. It happened to get this off the ground. I think I started briefly looking into Read Up the Art in June or July last year. So it's been a long while, but we finally got it over the line. I'm really just excited to see what happens now with all the different winners and participants as well. So yeah, it's been an incredible journey, a lot of learnings as well, but also a lot of great things have happened for the broader community. So kind of cool to see the creativity that flourishes after that. By the way, y'all cannot be nervous. You can whatever you want to say. This is your platform. Within reason, please. Don't get us fired.
Within reason. I mean, I don't know. You're making some good wrapping up statements. I would just say I'm personally extremely grateful to be able to have submitted to the contest and to be one of the winners. It's I'm sure everyone is saying this, but it's such a massive difference to have your artistic practice supported in a way like this, where then you can take it and then reinvest in yourself and keep going and pushing your practice further. And it's a huge gift and a huge opportunity, and I'm extremely grateful and super curious to see more of this March Madness from Optimism and what's up your sleeves and what's coming next. And thank you. That's all. I really appreciate it, and I'm happy to I would be really happy to see more live streams or spaces or something and learn more from the other artists, what other people are doing. I'm interested in doing a deep dive onto all of the winners and see what's out there. So thank you.
Yeah, echoing all of that, and just super thank you for actually focusing on art and trying to uplift artists. And because a lot of times it can feel like we're a side note to a lot of what is being built out, and it's refreshing to have feel like a focus for something while doing all the other stuff. But excited to see more of what's going to be built, excited to see what gallery stuff you guys are going to do. If you need help with that, I work with a lot of galleries, a lot of us work with a lot of galleries, but it'd be dope to see a physical exhibition for this, even for NYC, even though that's super close. But just throwing that out there for anyone listening or you guys. So I don't know what's planned.
No, we haven't got anything planned, but that's what people be saying. Hey, contest, but NFC NYC, we're let's finish the contest first, and then we'll see what we can do. We see what we can do.
Actually, because once you have all the art, it's just a matter of getting a display situation together. You have actually, I think, one of the harder parts done of having all the art together. Now it's just getting it up somewhere. So, but yeah, no, thank you guys super much, and super glad I won, and super excited for seeing so many of my friends winning too, and putting all the time and energy into it. Dope, just all dope. Paying artists is dope. So thanks.
Yeah, I just wanted to also echo what Empress and Lori said very beautifully. My question was also about NFTMVC. Do you have anything plans? Because I also live here and I would love to see the team here, or anything that you have plans. I don't know if there's anything happening or not, but that was the question. And obviously, thank you so much for having me, for choosing my art. It means a lot, because every time that I see people like my art, every single time is another just exciting feeling to move forward and to just do what I'm doing. So thank you so much. Thank you, and then hope to see the team in person soon.
Yeah, let's do it. I'm in New York as well. We'll be there around for NFT NYC. So if you guys are coming, would love to say hi. And again, congratulations. Thank you for sharing your work. Here's to more, and here's to just being as optimistic as possible about the rest of the year, the rest of the space. And please get your rest as well. There's a lot of excitement. Don't forget to drink water, eat food, have a good night's sleep, all that stuff too. Appreciate you guys.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you so much.